Okay. All right. Okay, it's working now. Okay. Okay. And okay, so you got someone, Aisha. Yeah, hiya. Oh, how are you doing? I see. This I think might be your first live session, right? Aisha, can you?
Yes.
And where are you from? You're from Islam also. Okay. So a lot of
Yes.
you. So let's start. So okay. So let's look at this question. So it says in triangle ABC, right? So you guys can see triangle ABC. D is a point on AB. Can you guys see this D? And this AB, and then E is a point on AC, right? You guys see that? E is a point on AC, and F is a point on BC. You can see that over here, and it says there such that BC, that DECF is a parallelogram. Okay, so you guys can kind of see over here if we maybe highlight it in blue. Can you see the parallelogram? Can you guys see the parallelogram?
Yes.
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 And anybody want to tell me some properties of the parallelogram?
Opposite sides are parallel, equal in length.
Opposite
Yeah.
angles equal.
And what about the
The diagonals bisect each other.
at 90 degrees?
No.
Do they bisect at 90 or do they just bisect?
No, they just bisect.
Which shape bisects at 90?
The rhombus
Correct.
and
Correct.
the square also. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you prove a rhombus, that you show that the diagonals bisect and they're 90. Great. And now it says that BF over FC is 2:3. So here's BF, right? Okay. And there's FC. Okay, you guys see that? And they're saying the ratio is 2:3. So is it permissible for me to write this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not permissible.
Shouldn't you put the variable because it's a ratio?
Yes, yes. Okay, great. Thanks, Aviha. So they're just telling you the ratio, right? That doesn't mean that BF is 2, guys. Doesn't mean that FC is 3. It just means that the ratio between the sides is 2:3. So therefore you could say 2x and 3x. Okay, guys, do you see that?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you see, you must be very careful with proportionality. Just be very careful, okay? And then they say the perpendicular height AG is drawn here. You can see as AG, okay? Here's AG, it's perpendicular height, okay? AG is T, so we could maybe write there T, right? So it's always important to fill in the information. And BC is 5 minus T, okay, wow. Okay, so 5 minus T is this distance here. Okay. And now they're asking you to write down the ratio AH over HG. But before we do that, remember I told you guys, always, when they give you information, unpack the information. When they, remember maths is a language, I think, Rivka, I've always told her this, that maths is a language. So when they say that something is a parallelogram, do you guys agree you've got parallel lines here? Do you see that?
Yes.
So if you've got parallel lines, what does that mean? What can you do?
That DH is also 2x and HE is also 3x. Isn't? No. Sorry.
So you're saying that you can start using proportionality theorems, right?
Yeah.
You guys agree? Because you've got parallel lines and you can start using proportionality theorems. So, And if you guys are not sure about what I'm talking about proportionality, because I'm not sure all of you have done proportionality yet, and that's totally fine because it's something that's usually done in the third term, but some schools start with proportionality, which is fine. But we've got concept videos. There's 5 concept videos on proportionality that Layla made. And if you've watched any of Layla's videos, you know she goes into a lot of detail, and you guys can watch that. So basically, what I want to know is, can we start connecting these other sides here? So can we apply any of the theorems? Do you guys think, so
Yes.
which sides are parallel here? First, tell me the parallel sides. Yeah. Well,
D,
So
C,
DH over HE is equal to BG over GC.
say it again.
DH over HE is equal to FG over GC.
DH over HG. Say it again, Amaro. Can you say it again?
DH over HE is equal to
Okay.
FG over GC. Because of the line it cuts off, so it can't be BG.
So you must look at the triangle. So if you look at the triangle, you must look at the triangle and look for a line that's parallel to a side in the triangle. So do you guys see ABC is a triangle, right? ABC is a triangle. And do you see that DE is parallel to one of the sides? Do you guys see that?
yes.
Yeah.
That AD is proportional to AD over AE equals BD over EC. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. But we've also got another parallel line here. Yeah. Do you guys see that over here?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Parallel side to this. You see? So what does that mean? What does
Isn't
that
it
mean?
that BF and BD
BD over
Oh.
AD.
Yeah.
BF over AD equals BF over FC?
So can I just write 2 and 3?
Yes. No, with the thingy, with this variable thing.
Variable X.
Yeah.
Why not X?
Because it's not the same, it's just same proportion.
Yeah, because you don't know that they're equal. If you say 2x, you're saying that these are equal, right?
Hmm.
So therefore, you just know the ratio is the same. So if you divide, it's 2 over 3. So that's why we use a different variable. Okay. But they want to know AH over HG. Now, can anybody see something that can help us determine AH over HG?
DT is parallel to BG.
DT.
Yes.
T is not a side, eh? It's just
Sorry. DH is parallel to BG.
right. DH. Do you guys see that? Here's the triangle BG. Do you guys see that? BG, guys. I want you to communicate. Do you guys see?
Yes.
Here's DH. So what does that mean? That AH is going to be 3 over 2, the ratio. Because this is 3 over 2. Do you guys see that?
Wait. Let me say that again.
That's those are the sides that are proportional. Do you guys see that? Here's the parallel line. Here's the parallel line. Okay. So that means that these two sides are proportional. Or that over this equals that over this. Do you guys?
Yes.
And since this is 3 over 2, 3 over 2, this must be 3 over 2. Is everybody happy?
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
question is asking the ratio of 3 of that. Or, just to make it easier, can't we say 3z and 2z? Because
Yeah.
3z and 2z. 3z and 2z. Okay. Now, Hamza, the next question. We're going to work through it. So it says there, calculate T if the area of the parallelogram is the maximum. So how can we break this down, Hamza? What do you think?
I think it has something to do with setting the derivative equal to 0.
The derivative of what? You must paint the picture for me. You must set the scene.
Okay. So you find an expression for the area.
Say it again.
You find an expression for the area of the parallelogram.
Yes, great. So what's the area of a parallelogram?
Base
Base times
perpendicular.
perpendicular height.
Base times perpendicular height. Do you have the base? Here's the
No.
parallelogram, remember? Here's the parallelogram. Here's the parallel. Do you have the base? What's the base?
Isn't it 3x?
3x, right? Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 3x. A equals 3x. And what's the height?
2x.
2x.
Not 2x.
2z.
2z. 2z. That's the other.
Okay, that looks very similar. How do you guys do z in it too? How do you? Let me just write this. Okay. What's the problem now, Hamza?
You have two different variables.
What's the variable that you want?
I think t.
You want t. Why? Because they want you to calculate t. Okay. So you don't want x or you want z. So can you write x in terms of z? Oh, so can you write x in terms of t?
Yes.
Can you write z in terms of t?
Yes.
How?
Oh wait, z no. I don't know.
Hmm?
You can say t minus 3z, I think. Or
Oh,
something like that.
there's the. I didn't see that. Okay. Sorry.
I'm just going to find the expression for t. We
You can
need to,
start.
yeah.
You can start by saying 3z plus 2z is equal to t.
Mm.
Yes, great. So therefore 5z equals
T.
t, 100%. So what's z?
T over 5.
Correct. But do we want z? What do we want? What is our
T.
equation of us?
T.
What is our equation demand of?
T.
Oh, it wants 2z, right? Not z.
Oh.
Or, just to make our lives simpler, let's take this and make it 6xz. Do you guys see that? Because it was 3x times 2z. It was 3x times 2z. So
Yeah.
you can just multiply that, okay? So, right, so Hamza said z is t over 5. Now, what is x? How can we write x in terms of t?
Five x is equal to 5 minus t.
Great. You guys see here? 5x, they told us that BC equals 5 minus t, right? And we say that BC is 5x. You guys can see 2x plus 3x, and that equals 5 minus t. So what is t? Or what is x equal to? So you can just do this one.
X would be 1 minus t over 5.
Yeah, you're dividing by 5 for each or first t, eh? Easier when you have calculus to write it like that. Okay, so let us continue. So the area is now going to be 6 times x, which is what? 1 minus 5, 1 minus a fifth t, right? 1 minus a fifth t. And what's z?
T over 5.
Or fifth t, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And now what are we going to do?
Distribute. Then
Distribute.
multiply out.
So the area is equal to what? So maybe we can first multiply the 6 by the fifth t. So it's 6 over 5t. Do you guys see that? 6 over 5t, right? So it's 6 over 5t times 1 minus fifth t. That area is equal to, multiply out, minus
6 over 25 t.
Okay, so now we've got the area for the parallelogram. Congratulations. Okay, the area for the parallelogram. Is that the answer?
No. Do the derivative now.
Just do the derivative?
So 6 over 5 minus
You set it equal to
negative
0.
5.
Yeah. So take the derivative. So what's the derivative operation going to be?
You times the exponent by the
No, no.
value
dA
in
over
front of the variable.
dt.
dA over
Okay.
dt.
dt, right? Okay. Because that's okay. And we've done this a lot of times before, okay? 6 over 5, right? You guys agree? 6 over 5. And what's the second one going to be?
Negative 12 over, no, it's not, sorry.
Yes.
Negative 12
Oh wait, yes, negative over
t.
25 t.
Okay.
Take 6 over 5 over, so it will become negative.
Or you just take the, you want to take the minus
Okay,
12.
yeah. Yeah,
Both
we
part-
can.
Okay, 6 over 5 goes 12 over 25 t, right?
Yeah.
And then what
Then
do we
you
do?
divide by 12 over 25 on
Sure.
both sides. Yep. Yeah. Get 5 over 2.
5 over 2.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. So 2 comma 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is this the maximum? Is T the max? Is this the maximum area of the parallelogram?
No.
No. What is this represent?
That's just the value of t. Still 17 to the formula.
The value of
Yeah.
T that will give you a maximum, very important, right? So the question is not asking you to find the maximum. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Question's asking you to determine the value of T that gives you a maximum. Okay, great. What type of graph is this, by the way?
Which one?
The one that I'm drawing. What type of graph is that?
It's a parabola.
A parabola. What type of parabola?
Frowning.
Yes,
Smiling or frowning?
Frowning.
It's frowning.
So therefore, what do you know about the frowning parabola?
There's a maximum.
It has a maximum, right? So therefore, you could even predict without even having to test. You would know automatically that because this is a frowning parabola, that it would have a maximum. So you guys see that?
Yes.
So that's quite nice. Okay, is everybody happy with this question?
Yes.
There's a lot of you now, so I want you to all respond when you have a chance. Remember, I told you guys I don't like talking and then not knowing if you guys are following. So even if you guys can be like, it won't annoy me if you talk to me. Like, like I actually prefer if you just say, hey, yeah, that makes sense. So, okay. Let's do the next question. Sigma notation. Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't actually do the quiz. We do it at the end. And then last week we did the quiz. The functions quiz. Okay. Consider the following equation. B equals the sigma of k. Sorry, the sigma of minus 2k plus 4 with k equaling 0 and the upper bound being 11. What does this even mean? Can somebody just teach you? Can someone teach me sigma notation quickly? Just to remind me, what is sigma notation? Can somebody explain to me? Amara, what is your understanding of sigma notation? I know you asked the question.
Okay, so if they give us the way they give us, we can find the terms. So the first, yeah, we can find the terms, and from there we can actually we can find the sum if you want to. Oh wait, so okay, so basically what you asked, what is sigma notation? So sigma actually means the sum of.
Correct. So what are the three features? Like if there's a number here, there's something here, and there's something here. So what do each of those three mean?
Okay, so the one minus 2k plus 4, that's a general term.
Correct. Great. It's the general term. Okay. It's a general formula.
Yeah, sorry. Formula.
The sequence. And what is this? What is this 11 in the notes?
The 11 is the numbers that you're gonna put in until you reach that number.
It's the end.
It's the last. It's the last number you put in, right?
Yeah.
It's not the end value per se. It wouldn't be correct to say that that's the end value. If I were to ask you how many terms are in this series, what's the answer?
11.
12.
11 or 12?
Isn't it 12 terms because
12.
it's 11 minus 0 plus 1?
Remember, guys, in the quiz, okay, in the quiz, I gave you a similar question and I asked you how many, well, I actually asked you to write, but basically in the concept video, which I want you all to watch, okay, I explained that if you want to calculate the number of terms, you take this number, you subtract it by that number, and you add 1. Okay? So if I gave you, if it was this, right? How many terms?
Nine.
Not 8?
No, 11 minus 3 plus 1.
It's 9.
11 minus 3 plus 1. Okay, do you guys all see that? Raiz, Sabiha, Aisha, guys all see that?
Yep.
Okay. So now that we understand what this means, right? That's the most, that's the thing, right? Like, we want to answer questions, but we don't understand, like, we first have to understand what the question is asking, right? And what is the question asking? So now they want the value of P. So they just want the answer to this, right? So how could we work out the answer to this expression? Amaro, what do you think?
I just got a little confused because it said B is equal to, so I wasn't sure what the B actually meant. Like, was it for the sum, or I didn't actually.
Is B equal to the sum? Oh,
Yes. So Amaro, you told me that this is the sum, right? Sigma is the sum. Right? Amaro?
Yeah.
Told me that sigma is the sum. So they're just saying that B equals that. So therefore,
Oh, so they only want the sum.
the sum. So how can we work out the sum? What's the first term of this series?
4.
It would be 4.
4.
How did you do that?
You just substitute 0. It's the
You
first term.
start with 0,
In place
right?
of
This
K.
start. Okay, so concept is really important. And the next term?
2.
2.
2, right? And the next term?
0.
0.
Because what type of series is this?
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic.
Arithmetic. And what's the sum of an arithmetic series?
Oh, n over 2. You want the formula?
N is equal to n over 2 to A plus n minus 1D.
Minus 1 into D.
I hope you're saying that from memory.
I am.
That's good. I told you guys to memorize these formulas. Okay. So what's the first term? What's n? What's n going to be?
12.
12.
12.
You see that? Now some of you might have done this. Eh? You see the problem? See the problem? You see how they could have caught you out there? Guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
See how they So that's why you have to understand the concept, because the concept is that even though there's an 11 year, that does not mean that there are 11 terms. You have to take 11 minus 0 plus 1. Okay. So therefore, you don't put 11 there, you put 12. Great. What's A?
4.
4.
Okay. So that's why, do you guys see how helpful it is to write out the sequence? You guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So A is 4, and what is D? Someone
Negative 2.
negative 2. And can somebody just do this on the calculator in the meanwhile, while I write this out? Okay. Minus 2, and D, and N is obviously? N is?
12.
12. So 6 times
Minus
2 times 22 minus 14 times 6 minus 84.
Yeah,
Yes.
84.
Okay, so that's B. Is everybody happy with 3.1.1?
Yes.
Okay, so now it says rewrite the above in sigma notation for k equals 1. When they say rewrite, do they mean write the sequence, like the series? I'm assuming they mean in sigma notation.
So you write it as this, as they give you.
So do you just replace it with 1? Oh, I think I might know what they mean here. Well, it's an equation, right? Remember, it's an equation. So what's the difference when you write 1 year? What's the difference between that and when it's naught?
Gives 1 less
You
term.
can
There's 1 less term. Which term is missing?
0. Oh no, 4.
4. 4 is missing. If you start with k equals 1, then the first term is missing. So therefore, to rewrite the equation, you have to say plus 4. Are we happy?
Yeah.
You guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy. Okay, so so you guys understand. So do you see how there's no new maths here, guys? It's the same concept, but we're just applying it. So you can't apply the concept if you don't know the concept. So that's why we have to make sure that we have a good understanding of the concepts. Okay, let's do the okay. Somebody's mic is a bit loud. Yeah, okay. It's better now. Just optimization. Okay. A solid right square prism is made of 8 centimeter cubed metal. Okay. What does that mean already? What are they telling you already?
The volume.
The volume. Okay, so what immediately what must you think now?
Of
Length
the
times breadth
equation.
times height.
With pressure. Yeah.
Immediately. So you guys see the first sentence, they're already giving you something. So volume equals 8. Okay. First sentence done already, we have an equation. But I think somebody might just skim past this and then they read this and they read that and then they forget this. Okay. Now it says the length of the sides of the base are x meters. Okay, you guys see there, x. Okay. So this is a square at the bottom, right? If they're both x. And the height is h. Right. The block will be coated with 1 layer of paint. Right. Now they say express h in terms of x. What does that mean?
Make H the subject of the formula.
Which formula?
Yeah.
The volume formula.
The volume, yeah. But when I say h in terms of x, what does that mean? That means write an equation for h that has x in it. H equals with x, right? So, and how can you do that? Well, can't you use the volume formula?
Yeah.
What's the volume of this prism?
Length times breadth times height.
What's the length equal to?
X.
What's the
X.
breadth?
X.
What's the, okay, then the height is h. So how can we express the height in terms of x?
8 over x squared.
Right, so you divide by the x squared. Because when they say h in terms of x, what they mean is h must be the subject of the formula. Not so. Okay, where's your, I think your mic is a bit loud. Okay. 8 over x squared. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the first question. Do you guys see how it was crucial that you wrote the volume first? Because if you knew the volume, you would know this. So that's why I'm saying, you guys, the question gives you answers. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The question gives you answers. Before the actual, the statement gives you answers already. Before the questions. Okay, I hope that I've shown you guys that before they even give you questions, you already have answers. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, show that the surface area of the block, let's highlight that, surface area is given by this equation. Okay, so what's the first thing we're gonna do?
The expression for area
Right, what's
of the
the
block.
area of this block? What's an expression for the surface area? It's color coded.
Wouldn't it just be length times plus? I don't know.
Not no.
Would it be 4xh plus 2x squared?
But now, okay, but let me just explain what you did.
So 4 of the sides are equal. So
Which four
and
equal?
the rectangular surfaces.
Right. Do you guys agree with that statement that they are equal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Red equals the blue. Because isn't the red the breadth x, right?
Yeah.
And the height h? They both have the same breadth and they have the same length, so they must both be. No, that must not happen. That must not happen. Okay, they must both be the same, right? So the blue equals the red. We happy? Amaro, I know you asked the question. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So which part was not clear when you did this question?
Oh, I didn't think this one.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, so Hamza, you were saying?
Yeah, so it will be 4 times xh for the pink part.
Yeah, because
And
it's the one red is x times h. So if you've got four of them, it's 4xh, right? Great.
And then for the 2 squares, the green part, it will be 2 times x squared.
Because the green is just x and x. So if you've got two of them, it's 2x squared. Great. Are we done?
No.
What's next?
Sub in the h from
Each
the
value.
Okay. And what is that going to do? 4x times 8 over x squared.
So then the 1x cancels with the denominator.
I'm just going to write it like that. And that's what they want, right? You guys see that? That's what they want. So are you guys getting a sense for how we approach these types of questions now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Aisha, Rais, Rifka, Sabiha.
Yes.
Okay. Rais,
Yes.
okay. So that's all I really want to show you guys, is that how, when it comes to maths, you have to understand your concepts. And once you understand your concepts, you need to learn approaches to questions. And I hope that I've shown you that the approaches to optimization and most of the other questions are very similar. But in order to understand the approach, it's my notification. In order to understand the approach, you have to know this. So you can't learn approaches or you can't understand approaches if you don't understand the concepts of them. So let us do the third question. Calculate the dimensions that will cause a minimum quality of plaint. What do you guys think? Weiss, what do you think?
So find the derivative of the equation in the previous previous question and then let that is equal to 0.
Great. You guys will see that. He's saying that you've got an equation for area, right? And now he wants to make the derivative equal to 0 and solve for x. Okay. So who wants to do the derivative for me? Nafisa, can you do the derivative for me? Nafisa, can you do the
Negative 32x to the power negative 2 and then plus
Okay, but before that,
4x,
what you're gonna do over here?
make it equal to 0.
Yeah, but what are you going to write ax or what are you going to write?
Oh, ax dx over
Not dx.
You write a prime x.
You could write a prime x, or you could write dA by dx. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Not going to write ax because that's not what you're finding. Okay. Carry on, Nafisa.
to the power negative 2 plus 4x.
Great. And what's next?
Make
What's
it equal to 0.
Equal to 0.
Right. Don't forget that, guys. Sometimes you get so happy that you found the derivative and then you forget to put it equal to 0. Okay. So what next? Any ideas?
You
Aisha.
multiply.
Yeah. Aisha, do you have any ideas?
Do you multiply everything by x squared?
You can. So, well, yeah, sure, you can. Yeah. You're multiplying both sides by x squared, which will get rid of the x to the minus. That's another way of doing it. So that will give you minus 32 because you're multiplying by x squared. And that will give you 4x cubed, right?
Yes.
Therefore, 4x cubed equals 32. X cubed equals 8. Therefore, x equals
2.
Now be careful. Oh yeah, it must be 2. Yeah, sorry. Must be 2, sorry. It's not cubed. It's cubed. Okay, so is this the minimum quantity of paint? Is 2 the minimum?
No.
No.
You need to sub the x
No.
value into the original equation.
Great. Okay, but that's not what the question's asking you. So you guys don't have to do that. Okay. But you guys appreciate that if they asked what's the minimum amount of paint, you would have to?
You'd have to sub that in.
You'd have to sub that in. Okay. You guys getting a sense for these types of questions? Do you start seeing how similar the approaches are to these types of questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Ilyaas, so do we just leave it as x equals 2 and that's the final answer?
We actually do have to continue.
Oh, sorry, they say the calculate the dimensions of the block. So therefore, what would you have to do?
Sub the x value in to the
So
surface
this
area equation.
is going to be 2. No, you don't have to know that. You don't have to work out the area. You just have to do the dimensions. So if this is x is 2, then that's 2. And then what is h? H is just 8 over
8.
2 squared. So
Oh, no, 8 over 4.
which is?
2.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's a square prism. Cube.
It's a cube. How cool is that? It's a cube, guys. It's a cube. And now this is a cool thing that if you really want to read more about this, you can. That when I was in matric, we had to do an assignment where we had to, if you want to find the maximum shape of something, you'll find that the maximum shape of any polyhedra is when the sides are equal. So if I asked you, what's the maximum, what's the largest polyhedron that has 5 sides? What is that called again? Pentagon, no? Or what's it? Hex polyhedron, 6 sides? Hexagon.
The hexagon, and the eighth one is octagon.
Yeah, but that's 2-dimensional, but 3-dimensional. I'm drawing a blank here, but you guys get the idea. If it's a 5, if it's got pentagons, okay.
The pentagonal prism.
Yeah, but not a prism actually, but it's called a platonic solid.
Oh.
The platonic solids that you would have been taught about in grade 8, I think grade 8 or 9. But basically, if I gave you a 5-sided shape, and I asked you what's the maximum size, what's the maximum area of this shape, it would be when all the sides are equal. That's what you would work it out. And so if I gave you a shape with 10 sides, 7, 8, 9, 10, the maximum area would be when all those sides are equal. Okay, that's the finding. And what's amazing is that as you increase the number of sides, so if I keep the perimeter the same, right? If I keep the perimeter the same, let's say that the perimeter is D, right? D is the perimeter. And I ask you, what is the effect of increasing the number of sides? What do you think that will do to the area? If I kept the diameter at like 10, right? Or the perimeter at 10, and I increase the number of sides, what would that do to the area? What do you guys think? Rivka, what do you think? Up or down? Rivka?
Yeah.
If I kept the perimeter the same at 10, and I increased the number of sides, so I made it 6 sides, 7 sides, 8 sides, what do you think that would do to the area? Has anybody done a project like this?
No.
Okay, but basically the area would increase.
Yeah.
And then the investigation concluded by saying that the way you would maximize the area is to find the shape with the most amount of sides. Do you guys see that? I'm telling you that if you keep the perimeter the same and you increase the number of sides, the area will increase. Do you guys see that? Therefore, the shape which has the most area for the given perimeter is the one that has the most number of sides. So my question to you guys, which shape has the most number of sides? Anybody know? Naima, do you have an idea?
Sorry, what?
Which shape has the most number of sides? I know we're going off the topic, but I'm just trying to show you guys something. Anyone? Hamza, what do you think?
Like
Could you
2D.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Okay, so
Is it
basically,
8?
if I keep the perimeter the same of a shape, right? The perimeter, you guys know the perimeter, right? If I keep the perimeter the
Yes.
same, and the only thing I change is the number of sides, I'm telling you that if I increase the number of sides and I keep the perimeter the same, the area will increase. So in other words, an octagon with a perimeter of 10 has a higher area than a hexagon with a perimeter of 10. Do you see that?
Mm.
Okay.
So my question to you is, which shape has the most number of sides? Because the shape with the most number of sides will have the most area for a perimeter of 10.
Yeah.
This is the icosahedron.
Well, the icosahedron that you're mentioning has 20 sides, but there's a shape which has more.
Shouldn't there
Oh.
be an infinite amount of sides?
Wow. Infinite number of sides. Which shape has an infinite number of sides?
Circle.
Is the
Circle.
circle?
No.
The circle.
What?
The circle has an infinite number of sides. Therefore, to maximize the area of any shape, you make it a circle. And that's why you'll find many structures or circles to maximize area. Anyway, that's not really relevant, but I just thought it's quite cool. And because if you think about it, the circle has infinite sides. If you think about it, when you're drawing the circle, it has infinite number of sides. But does it make sense? If you increase the number of sides, the area increases. So therefore, the shape with the most amount of sides has to have the highest area. And you can prove this. What's the diameter of a circle? Isn't the diameter just 2 pi r, right? Or it's 2 pi, right? So, right, the pi d, right? The diameter. Or the circumference of a circle is what? It's 2 pi r. Or pi times the circumference. So the area of a circle is what? It's pi r squared. But if you write the radius as half, if the circumference is 2 pi r equals the circumference, then the radius is the circumference over 2 pi. So you could sub that into here to get the formula. And I promise you, if you try this with all the shapes, you'll find the circle has the highest area. Anyway, let's go on to the next question. Don't you find that cool, guys? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear you.
Guys, there's no expressions today.
The fast is hitting hard today.
It's nearly the end, though. I thought, aren't you guys used to it by now, surely?
Yeah, but I didn't eat like that this morning.
Okay. Okay, question 6. Okay, question 6. In the diagram below the graphs, f of x sine, I think that's a mistake, eh? Yeah, that's a mistake. Let's just cross that out. Sine bx and minus cos x are drawn for minus 90. Also, what I want to say, guys, is if you're going to ask a question, I want you to have attempted it first. Okay, because obviously if you're just sending questions and you haven't done it, like, it's kind of defeats the purpose in a way, because I want you guys to engage with the questions, right? Okay, guys. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
engage with the questions and then say to me what you struggled with and what didn't make sense. And even if you couldn't answer anything, that's fine, but I just want you to know that I just want you to try it first. Okay. The period of f. Now, what's f? The sine graph. When they write sine of bx, what does that immediately tell you? What does that mean already? Hey, Jan, what is that? What is that? Hey, Jan.
Not really sure.
What
Okay,
does
so
sine B of x mean?
isn't it the period?
Is B the period?
Yeah.
It's not the it's related to the period. You can work out the period from B, but what is the of B?
Is it the worth of the period?
Well, the effect of B is that it changes the period. But that does not mean that B is the period. It changes the periods, okay? So I want to show you, if you guys are not still not a bit sure about the trig functions, there's a concept video that Neil made. This video, do you see the effect of B? I see that.
Yeah.
This concept video, he goes through everything you need to know. Grade 11 concept video. But remember, guys, your grade 12 syllabus is not just grade 12 stuff they want you to know from previous grades. So I really want you guys to spend time on those concept videos.
So do you guys have a concept video? Trig
Sorry, where's your mic is a bit loud. Can you, is that, Amara, can you say it again?
So you guys also have a concept video on trig graphs, like on in general?
On trig graphs?
Yeah, in general. Because like me and Nafisa were looking for it, but I don't know if we found it.
So the trig functions, you see here, under the functions,
But grade 11, right?
grade 10.
Oh.
Okay, so remember, guys, if you're looking for concept videos from previous grades, go through this mind map, because then you can go to the section like functions and you can say start from grade 8. If you want to go back to the beginning, if you want to learn what an intercept, domain and range, right? Stuff like that. Linear functions, trig functions, sine, cos, and tan. You see, so all this stuff is here, guys. So grade 11, effect of P, average gradient, we did that last week. And then grade 12, definition of a function, logs, and then calculus also. So if you're struggling to find a concept video, you can message us so that you can use Tutonic Student Bot and say, guys, I'm looking for trig functions, and we'll point you in the right direction. Okay, so, okay. So the effect of B is that it causes either a compression or a widening of the graph. Okay, do you guys see that? It's either making it compressed or it's making it wider. What's the period of this graph? What's the period of this graph, guys?
120.
Do you see that? Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does that make B?
3.
It makes it 3 because you basically take B and you divide it by 360 to give you the period. So that means that B must be 3. And this is discussed in the concept video if you want to have more information. But basically it's sine 3x. Okay. G of x equals minus cos. And you guys can see that here. So if you know the cos graph starts at 1. Okay, so there's a concept video on the cos graph. So if it's minus cos graph, it will start at -1. And then the cos of 90 is 0. Okay. Okay, so do you guys see the first question? Okay, period of f, okay? And the value of b. Okay. Why do they repeat this now? Am I not like? Do you see this? Like usually you make the mistake once, but now they're making it twice. I've never seen a graph like this sine of sine. I'm assuming it's just sine. The general solutions of the equation sine bx equals minus cos x are that. What does it mean when they say sine bx equals minus cos x? What can you deduce from that?
They intersect on the graphs.
How many intersections? Guys, how many intersections are there?
In this domain only.
Yes, yeah. So they tell you at the beginning of the question that the domain is only between minus 90 and 90.
So there's 3.
It's 3, right? You guys see that, right? It's 3. And they're giving you the coordinates. Or they're giving you the coordinates. They're telling the general formula. So they're just asking you to work out the x values. So all you have to do is just sub in different values of k. You guys see that?
Yeah.
So if you sub in k to be 1, what does it give you? Is that in this graph here? If k is 1?
No.
No, because it's 90 plus 67. If k is 0,
X is 67.5.
so I'm thinking that's this, right?
Yeah.
That's 67.5. Okay. And if k is 0 for this one, that's 135. Is that an answer? No. So then we try k equals minus 1. So if k is minus 1, then what is the answer?
Minus 22.5 for
So
the
that,
k times 90.
that's here, right?
Yes.
And this one, if k is minus 1,
Minus 45.
okay. Do you guys see how we working through this question here?
Yeah.
So it's actually easy 3 marks. Do you guys see that? You just have to sub in different values of k. Is everybody comfortable? You can.
Yes.
Sabiha, Rifko, Is, Amaro, Nafisa.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Those. Okay. Now it says, write down the values of x for which sine plus cos x is smaller than 0. What do you guys think we can do here? Have you guys seen questions like this before on Tutonic, on the bank? We've done questions similar. Naima, do you have an idea?
Oh, don't we? No.
Tell me any ideas that you have. Because this equation on is a bit difficult to do, but what can we do to?
Can we take cos over? Make it. No. No. No.
Why not? Why not?
Because it makes it complicated. Then you're making the graph negative. I don't know.
But they give us the negative graph, so you can do it.
The graph is already
Oh,
moved.
I didn't see that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so then we can take it over.
Okay, so what is the equation become now?
Sin bx less than negative cos x.
So in other words, where is f less than g? Where is the y value of this graph less than the g graph? Now, this question is a very common question, and we've actually made a concept video under functions that if you guys are not sure about this concept, it's finding the values of x that satisfy a particular statement. I highly recommend that you watch that because it gives you an overview of how to approach those types of questions. Okay. So basically they're asking you where is f less than g? And where is f less than g? So let's move our finger along the x-axis. Is f less than g here?
No. Yeah, no.
There's two options, yes or no?
No.
Yes, yes, it is.
F less than g here, yes or no?
What is the question again?
Is this statement here is sine less than minus cos, and sine is f and minus cos is g. So they're
Oh,
asking
yes.
where is the sine graph, which is this one, less than the cos graph. So at this x value, is it less?
Yes.
Yes, until we get to
67.5.
And to the left, what happens?
Just above.
It's above.
It's
So
above.
therefore, statement is not true, right?
Yeah.
Until we get
22.5.
To
Negative.
negative 22.5.
and then here.
X 45.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So
Those
do you,
two.
between these two x values, okay? And then afterwards, we do this one.
it's above.
Okay. So what's the answer?
It's between those 2 points.
Greater
So
than 67.5.
And greater than 67.5. But what must you do?
You have to say and equal to.
Yes, but remember they told you this graph ends at 90.
So
There
stop at 90.
it stops at 90. Okay, so you guys mustn't be caught out by that, okay? Amaro, does it make sense? Nafisa, Sabiha?
Yeah, it does.
So this is a very common question that you guys will get in the exams. I mean, like, I can almost predict it. Like, I will honestly put my, like, it's so frequently asked that to say that it won't be in, it's just, for me, it's a foolish statement. I would actually almost certainly say it will be in the exam because it's, but I hope that you guys see that it's not a difficult question once you understand it, okay? The question looks difficult at first, but once you realize what it's asking you, it's not that bad, okay, guys?
yeah.
Okay, let's do the next one. Oasis question. Oasis, I think it might be best to do all of it. I wonder if we done a similar. I don't think we have done this one before. Okay. If we do all of it, because then it just makes it easier for everyone to follow. Oasis, is that okay? Okay. So in the diagram, a circle having center M touches the x-axis at a minus 1, 0. Okay, so yeah, okay, that's over here. Right? Do you guys see that? Touches the x-axis here.
Yeah.
So that already means that, what does that mean for the radius. What does that mean? MA, what does that mean for the radius that I'm drawing there?
The radius is 1.
The radius is
1.
1.
Well, okay. Well, how do you know it's 1? They don't tell you the vertical distance here yet. How do you guys know it was 1?
Isn't it because of the
Because of P.
Yeah, okay, because of P. But I think the point is, do you agree this blue line is a vertical line?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is it a vertical line? Because isn't the tangent the x-axis?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when you see that, immediately think to yourself. Remember, I told you guys that the before you have questions, before you look at the questions, there are already answers for you, and that's what I want you guys to start practicing when you're doing these questions. There are already answers, so don't rush to the questions. Don't rush to the questions because you will miss certain key answers that you will need to answer those questions. Okay. So a smaller circle centered at N. So you guys see the smaller circle here. Cool, right? And cuts the larger circle at B and C. Okay, so interestingly, it cuts at B. So it cuts at the X, at the Y-intercept. Okay, so therefore you have a point on the circle, right? You know that point. And can't you work out C also because this is the midpoint?
Yeah.
So that means C would be -1, 2. Because here you're adding a half. So that you add a half there. Subtracting a half. Subtract a half there. Okay. So do you guys see how you're getting answers already? Guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting answers already before you're looking at the question. BNC is a diameter. Where's BNC? BNC. Okay, well, yeah, I actually assume that. Well, that's to be. A tangent drawn to a smaller circle at C cuts the x-axis at D. Okay. So what does that mean? So do you guys agree we could work up the equation of the tangent and so forth, right? Because you have the equation.
Yeah.
And so do you guys see that we're starting to unpack this question? We're starting to make certain connections and things. Okay. Question 1, the equation of the circle at M. What do you need to find the equation of the circle? What 2 things do you need?
The center.
The center and
Radius.
the
Mm.
radius, right? So what's the center of the circle at M? So you guys sort of alluded to it. This would be a horizontal line, right? Because the y-axis is the tangent there, right? You guys agree?
Yeah.
Talk to me, guys. Talk
Yeah.
to me.
Yes.
Therefore, the tangent is the radius is going to be horizontal, right? If the tangent is y-axis, the radius is going to be horizontal. Okay. So therefore, this M is just the intersection of these 2 lines. And this line is when y is 1, and this line is when x is 1. Therefore, or x is -1, therefore the coordinate is going to be -1, 1. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the radius then?
It's not one. One
It's
unit.
just one. It's just one because you can see here, it's a horizontal line. And of course, this is -1. So it's yeah. Okay. If they have the same y value, then you can just subtract the two x values. Okay. What is the equation? So what's the equation of the circle? Sabiha, can you do the equation of the circle for me? Sabiha, can you hear me? Okay. Nafisa, can you do the equation of the circle?
We didn't do circle thing yet.
Oh, you haven't done, okay, you haven't done so, okay, that's fine. Okay, that must be very daunting because you're seeing stuff you haven't seen. So if you want to, there's concept videos. For grade 12, there's actually only really two. There's only two concept videos, but most of your analytical geometry was taught to you in grade 10. So I strongly recommend, guys, that you go through these because, yeah, look at this horizontal and vertical lines. Okay. So I really urge you guys to go through these. Okay. Because there's not many new things in grade 12. Most of it is from grade 10. Okay. So who has done analytical geometry in school? No one. Paris, have you done analytical geometry? Right, Paris?
No, not yet.
Okay, so Naima, can you do this? Okay. And sure,
Okay.
I don't want to confuse you, but the nice thing is that you can come back to this video, right? You guys realize that, right? I've sent the video, so therefore when you do analytical geometry, you can go on the bank and you can rewatch this video again, okay, which is fine. Okay, Naima, so what's the equation of the circle?
X minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to the radius squared.
Right, and what's A and B?
A and b is the coordinates of the center.
Right, and what's the center? So if you write the equation, it's going to be x it's going to be x. What's the equation going to be?
The first one is going to be +1 and then y minus 1.
Right, because it's x minus -1. So the general formula is x minus a. So if a is -1, then it's x minus -1, which is going to be x plus 1. Okay, so that's the equation of the circle. So from the equation of the circle, you can actually tell anything. You can tell the center, you can tell the radius. The coordinates of C.
We got this.
So do you guys see? I already know the questions, man. before they ask, you can already okay, but how did we work out C, Naima? Can you just explain how we worked out C?
We use midpoint.
Yeah, so you had the midpoints here, you had the 1, and then you could work out that there. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so next one. Sure, the equation of the tangent CD is y minus x equals 3, but I don't like that. I don't like equations like that. So let's write it as
Yeah,
y,
so just take x over.
right?
Yeah.
So equation of the tangent CD. So where's CD? Okay, so how would you work out the equation of the tangent CD?
So we're gonna find the gradient of CB and then flip it over. That will be the gradient of CD.
What's the
and then we
gradient of
use the point.
what's the gradient
CB.
of CB?
I'm not sure. Did
Anybody
they
want
give
to
it to us? Oh, you have to work it out.
Hamza, what's the gradient of CB?
-1.
All right, 2 minus 1 over -1. Well, sorry, -1 minus 0, right? Which is going to be -1. Okay. So therefore, the gradient of CD is
+1.
+1. So therefore, okay, so the gradient is 1. And then you can sub in a point. You guys are familiar with that, right? You've got a point C. So
Yeah.
you say y equals mx plus c, or you can do y minus y1, but so therefore 2
2
equal,
to -1 plus a
and therefore c is,
3.
yeah.
It's 3. Yeah.
And that's what they wanted you to prove, right? So this is y equals
Yep.
x plus 3. Great. Okay. Okay, determine the values of t for which the line y equals x plus t will not touch or cut the smaller circle. I think I have done a question like this before. Okay. Now, Naima, I want you to try and break down this question for me. What does it mean when they say y equals x plus t?
It's a horizontal line which will not
Not
cut the
horizontal,
circle.
not
The,
horizontal.
the gradient will be 1, is it not?
The gradient is 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does the t represent?
The y. I think. I'm not sure.
Yes, but what is the effect of t? Remember, when you do, what is the effect of t? If I change t, what will happen?
It will
You-
shift the graph
How will that shift?
Up or
to
down?
the
Horizontally?
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Vertically.
Vertically. Vertical shift. It's vertical shift. So
Oh.
remember all those graphs, like ax plus q, all those graphs, the parabola, they all have a q value, right? The hyperbola
Yeah.
has a q, the exponential graph has a q value. For all those graphs, the effect of q is vertical shift. So when they write y equals x plus t, they're basically saying, I've got the graph of y equals x. So I've got a graph y equals x, and the t is just going to shift me up and down. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Do you all see that?
Yeah.
I'm not all.
Yeah.
Okay, Rais, does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we haven't answered the question yet, but I'm just trying to get you guys to understand what is y equals x plus t. So how is x plus t linked to this graph, x plus 3?
It's parallel.
It's parallel. Isn't it, guys? Why is it parallel?
Because the gradient is the same.
The gradient is the same. So when I make T3, isn't that graph going to be like that?
Yeah,
The
it's
graph,
intersecting.
right? But now the question was asking, determine the values of t for which the blue graph will not touch or cut the smaller circle. If t is 3, does it cut the smaller circle?
No, it doesn't.
It does? Tangent.
Touches it.
The question
It does touch it.
Yes, it will not touch. The question is asking will not touch. So does it
So
touch the
t has to be greater than, yeah.
100%? 100%. T has to be greater than 3. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
T greater than 3. So do you see how clever they are, man? They gave you the equation.
Ilyaas, I
Yes?
think they asked for the smaller circle, don't they?
Oh, we are with the smaller circle.
So then shouldn't we be looking at the 2 and the 1?
The 2 and the 1. What do you mean the 2 and the 1?
We are looking at that, I think.
Just say it again. I'm not following Hamza. Just say it again.
No, I'm saying for the line to not touch the circle, shouldn't t be greater than 2 or less than 1?
Where do you get the 2 from?
The -1 and 2.
But this is just
The coordinate of C.
The coordinate of C.
y equals x plus t. Do you agree that if t is 3, it's the same line? Hamza?
Okay, I see now.
So it's the same line.
Right.
But if let's not back them together. If I were to move this graph up, if I increase t, right? What happens? It doesn't touch the circle anymore. Do you guys see that? So when t is 3, it touches. But when it's greater than 3, it doesn't touch.
Yes.
Now, you guys see that? What about when t is smaller than 3?
It still touches and cuts through the circle. Till the point B.
And what is the value of t when the graph cuts b?
1.
It's 1, because isn't t the y-intercept, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's why they gave you, remember I told you at the beginning, they gave you b for a reason. But anyway, so therefore, do you guys agree t must be greater than 3? No, I don't want that to be there. It must be greater than 3. It must be greater than 3, but smaller than 1.
Yes.
Greater than 3, smaller than 1. So do you see how once you've drawn the line, once you understand the question, it's so easy. But you just had to understand the concept. You see, and that's why if you don't understand the concept, it looks so foreign, right? It looks so foreign. And that's why you have to understand the language of the maths. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. The small circle at n is transformed such that p is translated along the tangent. Okay, wow.
Wait.
The smaller circle at n is swapped, basically. It's transformed such that point C is translated along the tangent. So in other words, the tangent is now a line of symmetry. Okay? It's now a line of symmetry. Let's just remove that one there. The tangent is now a line of symmetry. So it would be, the new circle will be somewhere here. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
You said it's going to be here. Do you guys see that? The new center is going to be
Yeah.
here. Oh no, don't do that, please. Do you guys see that? They're translating in about the tangent. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
So how could we work out
Along. Okay.
the tangent is now the line of symmetry. Here's the tangent. This is the tangent. So all I'm doing is that I'm just drawing a line from the center and then I'm reflecting it about that line there. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
Someone said no? No? Okay. So how could we work out E then?
You can use C as a midpoint.
100%. Do you guys see that? Isn't C the midpoint now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, if we just, and you guys, I'm assuming all know midpoint theorem. If you just use midpoint theorem, you'll get -3/2. And you're adding a half there. So it's going to be 5/2. That's the new coordinates of E. If you just use midpoint theorem. Okay. Now the last question says, if it is given that the area of quadrilateral OBCD, where's OBCD, OBCD, OBCD? Okay, there we go. Sorry, it takes me a while to see these things. The quadrilateral OBCD, do you guys see it over here?
Yeah.
That's the quadrilateral OBCD. Great. They're saying that the area is 2a squared. 2a squared. So the area is 2a squared. Okay, calculate, sorry, and a is greater than 0. So that's important. So what does that mean? I have a feeling that we got to get 2 answers for a, but anyway. Show that a equals √7/2 units. So how can we work out the area of this quadrilateral, guys? Do you have any ideas?
R squared.
The quadrilateral.
Oh.
Any ideas?
You can divide it into 2 triangles, maybe.
That's a possibility. So are you saying, if I'm hearing you correctly, maybe something like that? Are you saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that could work. Isn't this 90? Isn't that 90? And isn't this 90?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a cyclic quad, actually. It's actually a cyclic quadrilateral. Do you guys agree? Because the opposite angles are?
Supplementary.
Supplementary, right. Anyway, that's not what they're asking. So what's the area of the first triangle? Come, guys. I want to finish all the questions. How do we work out the area of the triangle?
Half base times height.
Yes, so what's the base? Do we know this distance here? It's 1, right?
Yeah. 1.
Okay. And what is the OD distance?
1 also.
OD?
1.
Not 1, OD. How could we work out D
Work out the x-intercept.
of the line, right? What's the x-intercept? What's the equation of the graph? It's y
is
equals
equal to x plus 3.
therefore x equals to make y naught, right? So it's minus 3. So therefore the distance OD is
3.
okay. So therefore the area is half of 1 times 3, which is just 3 over 2. Okay, anyway. Now the area of this, what's the area of this? What's the distance between these two? You can use distance formula, right? How many marks is this? Okay, it's 5 marks, it makes sense. And you guys know distance formula, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do it. So it's going to be the difference between the x's, which is minus 1 and minus 3, which is 2, which is 4, 2, it's 4, it's 4 is root 8. Should be root 8. 2 squared is 4, 2 squared is 4 root 8, which is 2 root 2, if I'm not mistaken. Can somebody just double check that? And then minus the distance, the diameter here is what? It's going to be 2, 1 plus 1, which is, it's 1. It's just 2, right? It's 1, 1 plus 1, which is root 2. Okay. You guys agree? You guys get the same answer? Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. So the area is going to be a half of okay, guys. So talk to me. Let's do this triangle first. So it's half of the base times
2.
height. Half of 2 root 2 times root 2, which is, that's going to be 2, which is 4. It's just going to be 2, right? You guys agree?
Yes.
Just 2. And the area of the first triangle is 3 over 2.
Mm-hmm.
3 times 1, 3 over 2. And that, they tell us, is equal to a squared, 2a squared, isn't it, in the question?
Yeah, they do tell us that.
Is equal to 2a squared. Therefore, a squared equals 3 over 2 if we cancel these 2's. Therefore, a equals, okay, that looks a bit weird. A equals root 3.
6 over 2. Oh, okay.
Root 3 over root 2. Root 3 over 2. Let's just see. Did we make a mistake here? Just see here quickly. The calculator. So I got root 6 over 2, so maybe we made a mistake here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ilyaas,
Yes.
I think you worked out CB incorrectly.
CB. CB. Is it what? What is it? 2, 1 plus 1, root 2, isn't it? What did you get for CB? What did you get for CB?
I'm just going to work it out again. I might have done it wrong.
Okay. Anybody else see a mistake possibly? Otherwise, I mean, the question could be wrong also. We don't know.
I also got root 602, so I don't know.
So, I mean, the question can also be wrong, but let's just double check ourselves on the outside. -3 plus 1 squared. I mean, we're close. We're very close. √8. It's 2 √2. 2 √2 times √2. Oh, it's 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Yeah, we got that. Oh, why did we multiply? Guys, we multiply. That's a mistake. We multiplied them. We multiplied the areas. We should have added them. That's the mistake. Sorry. Okay. We multiplied the areas. So therefore, the areas are a half plus 2. 1/3/2 plus 2 equals 2a squared. 2 plus 3/2 is 7/2. Great. There we go. Equals 2a squared. And therefore a squared equals 7/4. A equals plus minus √7/4, which can be simplified to √7/2. Okay, but they say a can't be negative, right? They say in the question. Guys, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Amaro, okay, Amaro's not there. Rifka, does it make sense? I saw you just came back now. Rais, does it make sense, the approach?
Kind of.
And Aisha, does it make? I know Aisha, does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I think the trick was Hamza's suggestion to break it up into 2 triangles to see, because you had a right angle triangle and you added that. Okay. So let us try and do the other questions. Nafisa, this question that you asked, what is the question asking you to do?
They asked you to sketch the graph.
This one.
Yep. That's why I was like, what do I do?
Where is this from? Where did they ask you to sketch the graph? Which book is it from?
It's from our school book.
My textbook, yeah.
That's like the
But they
very
said-
complicated questions.
Yeah,
If
they
it
said
has-
we write the function into the standard trig function and then sketch the graph. And then they gave an interval between -180 and 180.
Oh, did they say it must be between -180 and 180?
Yes.
I think we can simplify this. How do you, what I'm thinking is if we multiply by the conjugate, do you guys remember I mentioned the conjugate? Guys?
Yes. Yeah.
This is just 1. But if I multiply, then it will make the denominator nice. Okay, so then it's going to be cos squared plus sine squared plus 2 sine x cos x over cos squared minus sine squared okay, and cos squared plus sine squared is
1.
1.
And 2 sine x cos x?
Sine of 2x.
X.
And cos squared minus sine x?
Cos
Cos of
of
2x.
2x.
I don't know how to actually. I actually don't. I don't know why they asking you. At least I'm missing something here. Let's just see if maybe there's something I'm missing. 1 plus sine 2x, right? It's 1 plus sine 2x over cos 2x. Sine 2x. And did you do this in class by any chance? Did they say?
What the specific question?
Yeah, did you do that one in class? Did they?
No, we
we
didn't.
did this
We did.
one.
Okay, so let's. Okay, maybe let's try and divide out. So it becomes 1 over cos 2x plus tan 2x. But now, how do you? Let's just see. 1 plus cos 2x. Well, cos is only between. So they're asking you to sketch the graph, right?
Yes.
Look, I mean, this, interestingly, this graph you should not have to know for your purposes. This will not come in your exams. I'm pretty sure it will not come in your exams. But however, cos the x values, do you guys agree that cos is always between 0 and 1?
Yes.
Also negative 1.
Mhm.
Negative 1, sorry, between negative 1 and 0. So therefore the graph of cos is actually a restriction, and tan 2x would be a function. So that's why if you plot the graph, it actually looks like a tan graph. But I would ask Ms. Amjale why they put it in there. It was Handra is your teacher, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I would ask her maybe just why or how she would, because this is actually how it looks, if you want to see. Unless I'm missing something, but cos x, we said it's sine 1 plus sine x 2x, sorry. I mean, the other thing you could do is just like sub in points. Do you guys agree? You could sub in points, but it's always nice to. Do you guys see the graph?
Yeah.
So this definitely looks like a tan graph that goes through 1. Tan is 0, it's 1. I mean, one could easily just plot the graph. I suppose what one could say is that there's a tangent that's definitely, I mean, tan 2x definitely has a asymptote at 45. Do you guys agree? Because isn't tan 90 undefined?
Yes.
So you could predict that the graph would have a tangent at that. And then, of course, and this mustn't be like, this mustn't be radians, this must be degrees. So let's just bring it together like that. So you guys see at 45, it kind of looks like it's going to a tangent. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what they wanted you to understand, but can you maybe ask your teacher what Is this Islamia's book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because maybe just ask her what she wanted, but I don't know how you could have plotted this using your maths. That, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are other ways of plotting it, but to expect this of grade 12 level, I don't, to me, I could be wrong, could definitely be wrong, but I don't see how they could ask you to. But maybe you can, if you could ask her and let me know. Nafisa?
Okay, I'll ask her and then tell you.
But she didn't do this in class with you.
No,
No,
from that exercise, she just gave us a few to do. And then I looked at that and I was like, what am I supposed to do here? That's how I asked. But it's fine, I'll ask her and then I'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I always told you guys they should never give you questions that you can't answer based on your concepts. Okay, so they should never give you questions that you can't answer based on your concepts. Okay, so in the following sketch, the coordinates of P, so this is a triangle question, coordinates of P are 1, 5, and they show you that, right? You can see that over there, 1, 5. Okay, and the coordinates of Q are A5. Okay. POX is theta, POQ is theta. PO times X, what do they mean there? POX prime, angle PO. Oh, sorry, I see what they mean. Sorry, angle POX. Okay, sorry, I see what they mean there. Angle POX is POX is theta, and POQ okay, I see what they mean. Okay, do you guys see this is theta, this is theta, and this is theta? They're equal. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
And they're saying that QOX is alpha, so X prime is just this over here. Okay. The length of OP. How can we work out OP? Nafisa, what do you think? I know you asked the question. How do you think we can work out OP?
The distance formula?
Sure. And how did you know you can use distance formula?
I don't know, I just assumed. Because they asked for the length of that line, so.
But how would you use formula to give you
you have the coordinates of 0, O, and then you have the coordinates of P, and then, isn't it? And then you put it in the distance formula, then you'll get the length of that line.
Yes, but do you agree this is 1 and this is 5, right?
Yes.
You could also use Pythagoras.
Oh.
Do you guys see that?
yes.
Also use Pythagoras. So in fact, if you guys distance formula, anyway, we're not going to get into that. Pythagoras is derived from cosine rule, if you're interested. Root 26 is the distance. If you so root 26, you guys not do Pythagoras. OQ, what do you think OQ? The length of OQ. Any ideas, guys?
I would use distance again, but then there's an unknown, so I'm supposed to solve that.
This is 5. Any ideas? Hamza, do you have any ideas? Actually, no, let's do question 2. We're doing question 3 first. I mean, sorry. I looked down. Question 2, the value of sine 2 theta. What's sine 2 theta?
Isn't it
Hamza?
the double angle?
Yes, but do you agree sine 2 theta is just this?
Yes.
So how would you find sine 2 theta? It's what? What's the definition of sine?
Opposite of hypotenuse.
So what's opposite over in this one? It's 5, right? Guys?
Why are we looking at the 5? I thought we...
Because it's this triangle now, 2 theta. So we're looking at that triangle. Does everybody see that? Here's 2 theta.
That's supposed to be after you reduce the angle.
What do you mean reduce the angle? Do you need to reduce it?
Because I don't see how you went to that triangle.
I'm also very confused.
Yeah, same. Why are we using the exterior angle for the triangle?
Because this angle is also 2 theta. So I get what you're saying, that 2 theta, you think maybe let's change it to a identity, right?
Or could we use could we work out alpha, then we just say 180 minus alpha, then we work out 2 theta.
So that's, well, yeah, so well, that's actually what, yeah. But we can do both ways. Let's see. So do you agree that sine 2 theta is just 2 sine theta cos theta, right?
Yes.
So what is sine theta in this case? Equal to?
What triangle are we looking at? The green one.
You can use this one because we've got a lot of information in this triangle.
So square root. Wait, no.
So what's sine theta going to be? Naima, any ideas?
What?
Sine theta in this triangle, in the yellow triangle.
Will it be 5 over
5 over root
25?
26.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And cos theta?
1 over square root 26.
Okay, so that's the value of sine of that, okay? So that's what the question is actually asking you, the value of sine 2 theta. Okay. So that's the answer.
Yeah.
So it's 10 over root 26. 10 over root 26. And I'm pretty sure you can simplify that to rationalize the denominator. I think you can, it becomes, oh no, doesn't look very nice. Okay. Anyway, doesn't matter. The length of OQ.
Ilyaas, could you just explain how you went to that the green triangle?
So we actually have to use the green triangle for this question. So remember, let me just make it easier for you guys. When you've got, so no, that's not nice. When you've got a Cartesian plane and you have an angle there, right? The angle is actually obtuse. This is the angle that you're looking at. It's not this angle. Because remember, don't you measure angles from the positive x-axis, right? Guys?
Right.
On the positive x-axis. So when you're looking at the green triangle in this question, what's the angle there? It's here, to here, which is theta plus theta, which is 2 theta.
Can you explain again, please?
Okay. So when you've got an obtuse angle in the Cartesian plane, you got to look at the angle that it makes with the positive x-axis. Always, when you're looking at the Cartesian plane, you look at the angle that it makes with the positive x-axis. You guys see that?
Yes.
So it's an obtuse angle. You wouldn't say this is an acute angle, right? Just like if I drew another Cartesian plane here and I made my triangle there, you know, the angle is going to be where? It's going to be there. That's the angle.
Wait. Okay, yeah.
Does everybody understand? Hamza, does it make sense? Nafisa?
Yeah, that makes sense. But what would the alpha be then? Is it the reference angle?
No, it's related to the 2 theta, but when you're using the triangle, when you're doing the trig operations, you would say not alpha, you would say sine of 2 theta, because you measure the angle from the positive x-axis. So if I said if I said sine, right? What's the angle you're going to be? What's this angle?
2 theta.
2 theta, right? That's going to equal the opposite angle in this triangle, which is what? What's the opposite side in this triangle?
5.
5 over?
A.
Not A.
Root 26.
Not root 26. It's the hypotenuse, which is OQ. Of this triangle. Do you guys see that?
Yes, I think yeah.
What part is confusing? I think you guys about
The triangle part is confusing you. Like, why are we using that triangle to work out the other part of the angle?
well, we're asking for the length of OQ, so which is in this triangle. It's nothing to do with this triangle.
The small one, it has nothing to do with it. See? The yellow one.
Do you guys see? It's not related to that one. So I'm trying to work with. Let me show you a cleaner picture. This triangle, they're asking for OQ. OQ is not part of this triangle here. So do you see the angle OQ is 2 theta?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so therefore you would use that angle for this triangle, but for this triangle you would just use theta. Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like a nice okay.
I kind of get it, but
what part is not is not?
okay, wait. Just say it again. I think I'm gonna get it now. Just so the 2 theta.
Like, maybe I'm not explaining it nicely. Hamza, do you want to try explain it?
I'd rather not, thank you.
Or just ask her to explain what she understands.
No,
so far,
don't ask
since
me
she's
to
in the
explain
course.
because I don't know what I understand at the moment.
Yes, then he can just fill in whatever you don't. You see?
When I draw a Cartesian plane, right, I can make an angle, right? I can draw a side, right? This would be what type of angle? Acute angle, right?
Yes.
if I draw a line here over here, what type of angle is that?
An obtuse angle.
If I draw a line here, what type of angle is that?
Bigger than obtuse angle.
What is that
Still
called? What
an
is,
obtuse angle, Rivka.
Okay, that, yeah.
what is it called if it's greater than 180
The reflex angle.
The reflex angle.
angle, right? So you guys agree this is obtuse, right?
Yes.
So why aren't you using the obtuse angle when referring to the triangle? You want to look at this angle here. For this red, you use the acute angle. With the green, you're telling me it's a reflex because implicitly you know the angle is there. Do you guys see? The angle between you always look at the angle between the positive x-axis. The positive,
Ilyaas,
yes?
am I correct in saying if you look at the blue line, the angle there is 180 minus 2 theta? So then,
Wait.
okay,
This
can
one,
you go back to the diagram?
yeah.
Yeah, so 180 minus 2 theta, and it's in the second quadrant. So if you reduce that, isn't that because sine is positive there? Would it not just be 2 theta?
Sine of 180 minus, yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying,
That's
isn't that a different way to look at it,
But
to explain?
yes. But I think it's just easier just to say this is an acute angle, so you just measure that angle. That's an obtuse angle, so you measure that angle. Okay. That's a reflex angle, so you got to measure that angle when looking at the triangle. You guys see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Rivka?
Yes. Yes, I see that. I see
Okay.
that's what you drew the that I get, yeah.
So now I'm doing the exact same thing here because I'm saying if you want to work out this triangle, the red one, is it an acute or obtuse?
An obtuse angle. From
Right.
that
So you're
side.
gonna. There we go. And what's that angle equal to?
Which one?
2 theta.
The blue.
Oh, okay, yeah, 2 theta.
That's why I'm saying 2 theta when I'm working with this triangle.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
No. That's not good enough.
Now I get the obtuse angle thing, right? But now, how does that angle fit into the triangle thing?
That's
Okay.
what I'm asking. I don't get why we use
Yeah, like that's what's confusing me.
This is 180 minus 2 theta.
Yes,
Yes.
which is okay, yes.
Yes.
So it's going to be sine 180 minus 2 theta, right?
Yes.
Reduce that for me.
Sine 2 theta.
2 theta. Oh, okay.
So
That's what I was trying to explain earlier.
yeah, so
Okay.
That makes more sense.
No sense, yeah.
but it's not always going to be the same, right? So if you do the reflex angle, it will be maybe if we said what sine 180 plus theta, 2 theta, what is it going to be?
Sine minus 2 theta.
Negative sine 2 theta.
So then students become confused with the negative. So I rather just say, just look at the angle that is made and then just look at your triangle. The triangle is there to guide you guys.
Okay,
So-
now say it's a reflex angle, right? That's what it's called, yeah. let's say that's the thing where it goes from that side. Then, like, how would you do that?
How would you draw the triangle?
No, I mean like the angle thing. How would that work? Does that
So
make sense?
let's do something like that. Let's say maybe, let's say this is theta. Let's say maybe that's also theta, right? So then do you agree this would be 180 plus theta?
Yes.
Your triangle would be here.
Yes.
Do you agree your x value is negative?
Yes.
Yes.
Y value is negative.
Yes.
And your hypotenuse is?
Positive.
Positive.
So if you were to find the sign of this, what would your answer be, positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative.
Opposite of hypotenuse? It would be?
Negative.
Negative. And what is sine of 180 plus theta?
Negative sine theta.
It's just sine theta, but you put a negative in front. But I'm saying you can avoid all of that confusion. Also not confusion really, but just take the angle and use your triangle to guide you. Don't worry about the positives and the negatives. Just look at what is on my triangle. Okay? Guys?
Okay. So then it will without doing all of that we just did now previously, you're just going to use your triangle and then it will be.
So we use the triangle. Sine 2 theta is going to be opposite, which is 5. Do you agree?
Yes.
5 over,
Hypotenuse.
which is
Mm,
OQ.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
right. And then we're saying that's sine 2 theta. You guys agree?
Yes.
Okay. Now they were asking you to work out OQ. That's the question. Do you guys see that? They're
Yes.
asking you to work out OQ. Now you can work out OQ because didn't the question before that ask you to work out sine 2 theta?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore you have your equation already. You have sine 2 theta, right? It's 10 over root 26. You worked it out.
Yeah.
So therefore you can solve for OQ.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So if you take the OQ over, it becomes root 26 over 2, I think. Can somebody just work that out quickly? It's in over time. And then the value of A. A is just the X value, right? Do you guys see the X value here? Do you guys see that?
Yes.
This is A. So can't you use cos then? Or you have this answer here. You can just use
It is root 26 over 2. No?
Yeah.
26 over 2.
Yeah.
26 over 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can't you use Pythagoras to work out x?
Yes, you can.
Which is a, right? Right? So let's just,
Yes.
okay, so squared is 26 over 4 minus 25. It's going to be a negative answer. 26 over 4 minus 25. right? You can't square root that negative answer, so it's just going to be, no, wait, it can't be root 26 over 2.
That's one.
Who said it was root 26 over 2?
Isn't it root 26 times by 5 divided by 10?
It's actually 5
Times
divided by 10 over root 26, which is root 26 over 2.
2. Yeah.
But that's not right. It can't be right. Then that means that must be wrong. Our sine 2 theta must be wrong. If it's sine 2 theta, come on man, is 5 over OQ.
Yeah.
The OQ equals, the hypotenuse can't be shorter than the other side. There must be an issue here. 2 times sine theta, which is 5 over root 26. So no, man, it's not root 26. It's 26. It's root 26 squared, sorry. 26. So therefore that makes more sense now, because then it's going to
It'll
be
be
13.
13.
It'll be 13, right. And 13 squared is 169 minus 25 is 144.
12. X is 12.
But not 12.
Negative 12.
Oh, yeah.
Negative 12. Okay, so don't make that mistake. And then tan of alpha.
Tan
which
of alpha is opposite over adjacent, which is 5 over negative 12.
Great.
Gives you. Oh, wait, I forgot to do that.
Okay.
Which gives you. Oh. Negative. Why is it negative 22.62?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to, you just say it's 5 over minus 12, because that's the ratio.
I thought we just leave it 5 or negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
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 So that's all the questions, and I know it's nearly time to break your fast. Do you have any other questions?
No, that's it.
No.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. For those who are watching on YouTube, I just want to say that and all those who are going to be watching this, just to make a plea to all of you to keep on watching the concept videos. You know, guys, like if I were to say to you, like, who here watches tennis?
Not a sports person.
Tennis? Yeah, Hamza, do you watch tennis?
Not.
No, okay. Formula One? Formula One, soccer? Which sports? Okay.
Soccer, yeah.
Okay, imagine if Messi never, like Messi or Ronaldo, wherever you, imagine if Messi never had a soccer ball. Could he be Messi?
It wouldn't be soccer.
He couldn't do what he does, right? If you know, Tiger Woods, what's Tiger Woods without a golf club?
Okay, I see what you mean.
Okay, so like, even though he's the best, probably one of the best golfers ever, without a golf club, can he do what he does?
No.
No. Okay. Now, just like Messi without a soccer ball, he's probably one of the greatest soccer players ever. But without a soccer ball, he can't do what he does. Just like, if you watch tennis, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, they're the greatest tennis players of all time. But if they don't have a tennis racket, they can't do what they do. You see? And for me, a student going to a maths exam without concepts is like Roger Federer or Nadal or Tiger Woods going into a golf championship without golf clubs. That for me is how serious it is to understand concepts. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are. You see, you could be Tiger Woods, you could be the best, but if you don't have your clubs, if you don't have your tools, you can't do anything. Okay, do you guys see that?
Yes.
So that's why I really encourage all of you to watch the concept videos. In fact, I would even go as far as saying that if you don't get full marks for the quiz, the concept quiz, then I don't think you should be doing past papers yet. I would even go as far as saying that, because if you're not getting full marks for the quiz, then it means that there are concepts that you don't fully understand yet. Okay? And since the past papers test your understanding of the concepts, to me, if you don't understand all the concepts, you shouldn't be doing the past papers yet. You understand?
Yes.
That's why I really urge you to do those quizzes to see what your understanding of the concepts are, and then go back to the concepts that you maybe didn't understand. And I don't mind if you get 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 5 out of 10. For me, the most important thing is, do you go back to check where you are making mistakes? Okay? I have more respect for somebody who got 2 out of 10 and went to do their corrections and understands the concepts now than somebody who got 7 out of 10 but didn't do any corrections, because that person with 7 out of 10 doesn't understand 3 concepts. You see?
Yeah.
So my advice to all of you is, before you do the past papers, and all of you are doing past papers, which is great, it's fine, but you must know the concepts before you do the past papers. And that's why you notice that it's a bit challenging for me to go through all the concepts in the live session, because there's a lot of concepts, right? So for me, I would rather prefer if all the students come to the live session with the concepts firm and solid, which makes it a lot easier to go through the questions. Because obviously, if you know how to play tennis, right, you can have a racket, but you still have to learn how to hit the ball, right?
Yes.
Tennis racket, still learn how to hit the ball. So in these live sessions, I'm going to teach you how to hit the ball. Okay, I'm gonna teach you how to do the serves, the aces, and the back shots and the volleys and all that stuff, right? But listen, I can only teach you how to serve if you bring a tennis racket. I can teach you how to serve if you bring the tennis racket. You see what I'm saying? Hamza, does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Beautiful analogy.
I can only teach you how to become experts if you bring the tools to make me develop you into experts. You see, if I can only show you how to perfect your understanding of the maths if you bring some basic knowledge of the concepts with you. Otherwise, we have to go back to the beginning and go through the basics, which I don't really see the live sessions doing that, to be honest, because we've made concept videos. So I want to teach you guys how to excel. I want you guys to excel. I want the best for every single one of you. And I hope I've made that very clear. But I need you guys to put in the work to make sure that you understand the concepts and use those resources. You know, that's famous analogy. You can take to the horse to the river
But you can't make him drink it.
and make a drink. You know, I can
And
give
that
you
is analogy every time.
I can give you the ladder, and at the ladder is top of the math success board, right? I can give you the ladder.
But you can't make the climb it.
You have to climb it. You see, so at Tutonic, we give you the ladder, we give you the resources, but you guys need to take them and need to make them your own. You see, I can't force you. I can't wake you up and say, Rivka, I need you to. I'm not saying this is the case, but I can't force you guys and say you have to watch this concept video. But I hope you guys realize how important the concept videos are to your success. You know, like I said, I can't teach you how to serve if you don't bring the tennis racket. You see, so that's that's for me is, you know, I really urge all of you. I know there's only 3 of you on now, but if you understand that, then it makes my life a lot easier, because I want to develop you. I want to take you guys to the next level in your understanding, to do the difficult questions, to stretch you, so that when you get those difficult questions in the exams, that you guys won't have to be scared anymore. Okay, but you know, the students, as students, you also have to put your effort in to make sure that I can get, you have to help me so I can help you. Let's put it that way. Okay. You see, I want to help you, but you have to help me so I can help you. And that's what Tutonic wants. Tutonic wants to help you. All the tutors want to help you and they want to support you. But there needs to be buy-in. You see, I mean, it's a two-way street, you see. Anyway, I don't want to keep you guys too long. I'll see you guys next Thursday. And yeah, okay. Didn't want to talk too long, but I hope I've inspired you to watch those concept videos. And yeah, okay, I'll see you guys. Book it nicely. Enjoy your last 2 days of Ramadan, and I'll see you next week. Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay.
And very early Eid Mubarak, because we're gonna only see you like next Thursday. And so
Oh,
like
yeah,
early
Eid
Eid Mubarak.
You must have a Zoom session for me, maybe. You must have a Zoom session on.
Cool.
It's not doing anything on Eid. But anyway, okay, I'll see you guys.
Okay, salam.